Hi everybody, I'm Isabella. I'm currently at McGill for Geography and Environmental Studies, and I continue to work as an artist outside of university by participating in shows and just making my own work on the side. I'm a recent grad from ESA. I graduated in 2019 and I was in the visual arts program. And what I'd like to say about ESA in regards to the visual art program really is specific to the amount of opportunities and support that you get as an artist, as an individual, by being surrounded by so many talented, smart, caring, loving peers and teachers who all work so hard to help you build a good work ethic and to help you achieve your goals. And just give you a really deep understanding of the world and yourself that I don't think that you can get at any other high school. Seriously. And I think that that kind of support and love really ends up supporting you for years and years afterwards, as I think a lot of grads can agree on. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many career opportunities, learning opportunities, artistic opportunities I got from attending ESA. Just the amount of support that I got from the teachers alone is amazing to me. Matthew Berry and Glenn Novak are always helping their students, not just their current students, but also the grads as well, helping them achieve their goals and, you know, just helping them in any way possible, which I think is really beautiful and amazing that that relationship still continues after graduation. And yeah, I think the freedom that I got while I went there in exploring whatever I wanted and really helped me understand what I love to do and what I love to learn about. So if you're thinking about applying to ESA, I would definitely encourage you to do so. I know that all of my friends, all of my peers really enjoyed their time there and got so much support and are just really grateful that they had the ability to go to such an amazing school that gives you so many opportunities, not only as a student there, but also as a graduate afterwards. So would definitely encourage you to apply. And yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Claire Calderwood. I am an ESA graduate from 2019 from the Contemporary Arts Program, and I'm currently studying community design and sustainability at Dalhousie University. Starting from the beginning, I came to ESA with very little understanding of why I was making art and why I was enjoying it and what I wanted to make art about. I was working in almost any medium you could think of, but I did know I was passionate about it and I wanted to work on it. So I went in and straight away was blown away by the community that was there. I had classmates that would go out of their way to help me. So say the school didn't have a material I needed, students would actually go home and try to find it and try to come up with problem solving, like come up with solutions to your problems. Say I was working through something I wanted to work on in art, but I couldn't quite figure it out. People would stay after school with me and talk through my projects. So right away, I think I knew that ESA was something special. In later years at ESA, I developed an understanding of the materials I wanted to use. So I started working with wood and started working with photo editing. We would have projects and support and set critique dates, but especially in later years, no set guidelines. It gave you the room you needed to learn about yourself and learn about what you were passionate about and how you wanted to make art in a way that resembled that. There was no restrictions on the materials you were using and the scale you were working in. Through the process of learning about what I liked making art about, I found out what I was passionate about. So I started working with concepts surrounding how people experience space and how space influences people. And because of that, I figured out what major I wanted to do in university, which is community design and planning. And although I'm not working on art now in university, I was given a skill set and a way of thinking that has completely shaped how I work and how I think. The community also, I think, has fully developed my understanding of what a community should look like. So in the sustainability aspect of what I'm working in now, I know how to build resilience and ideas that are needed for my program based off of ways I was thinking within ESA. I walked out with a group of friends that are lifetime friends. I walked out with connections from other majors that I met through my program. And I walked away with things I was actually proud of and I really learned from. I was able to participate in group shows and collaborate with other students and learn from other students. I think ESA is one of the most adaptable programs there is. They can look at a problem and take the problem and create a solution and something really beautiful out of that. So yeah, and I think the support that you gain from the program is something that is so necessary right now. The ESA community and the experiences I learned from working there have completely shaped who I am and shaped how I think, and I would really recommend it to anybody who's looking for something like that. Everyone's experience there is different, and I think you take away from the art program what you want to take away from the art program. But for me, it was one of the most influential in my life. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Maggie and I graduated ESA in 2016 in the visual art department. And right now I'm in my 5th year and final year, hopefully, of music school, which is happening online because we're living through a pandemic and the world is crazy. I know if somebody told me that a place was super open and accepting, I probably wouldn't believe them and just think it was propaganda, but I'm not lying. I always felt very safe and very welcome and part of the ESA community every time I stepped in those doors because it was a really great place to be. Yeah, I just felt like Mr. Very, Mr. Morgan, Mr. Novak were always so invested in what we were doing and only pushed us because they wanted us to do the best work we could do. And it was always very inspiring to be there. It was just so inspiring to make art every day and have the freedom to kind of see something in your head and then build it with the help and support of all kinds of teachers who just wanted to support you on your journey. So that was very, very nice and very great to be around. I had amazing friends. We had our own crazy friend group. We ate lunch in the art room together every day. We built a tent out of canvas and drew all over it. We brought a record player to school. I don't know. It was very, very fun. And while we worked really hard, it was a perfect balance because we were always having fun while we were doing the work. I don't think I only learned how to make art. I think I learned how to cultivate community and how to express my thoughts and how to express myself and how to. It taught me how to love school. I don't know, I never felt like I was a academic person before I went there. I just wasn't passionate about school. But it really just taught me how to love to learn, how to want to learn, and how to want to grow and improve. I just really think it's a great place for those 4 really important years to experiment and have fun and build community, make friends, try new things, push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and have fun all the way through that.
Hi, I'm Miranda and I'm a grade 10 in the Contemporary Arts program at ESA. this program to me is like a support system, and a space where I can like so vulnerably share who I am through my art. And something I've learned through working in this program is family to me are those who share enough of my mental traits for me to better understand myself through understanding them. And what I think this program does, one of like the main things it does, is create a space for this family to be born and strengthened, and we can all share vulnerable things about each other, and we can all experience changes in our art and changes in our way of thinking, and the way we understand the world is continuously elevated because there's like this continuous circle of understanding and talking and processing. And the people that are part of it are people who you can talk to like people. They're not people you have to be scared to talk to. They're not people that there's like this weird disconnect with. It's so like entirely okay to be yourself, in like an ugly or beautiful way, and you realize how those things are interchangeable, and you realize how all the majors at ESA are connected on this foundation of art and this way of viewing the world. And I know that leaving this school, I'm going to keep this way of thinking with me, because even if my art physically changes, which I know it will, a lot, my way of thinking and viewing the world will lie foundationally on this understanding of connection and this appreciation of art, which is, I think, the bridge between internal and external and so many other things. And all of us working together on this bridge and working in this space that a lot of the time people aren't able to get to, and people aren't able to be taken seriously from being in. We are able to be taken seriously, and we're able to take things so much further than we would if we didn't have this support system and this foundation and all these things. And so it pushes you to be yourself. It pushes you to develop your art and your way of thinking, and your way of existing. And through that, you can share a little bit more what life means to you and what life should mean to others. And that is very valuable and cool. And I'm very grateful to be in this program.
Hi, my name is Taima, and I graduated from the ESA Visual Contemporary Arts program in 2018, and I am now studying cognitive science at U of T, which sounds like a completely different field, but it really isn't, because ESA not only teaches you how to create art, it also teaches you how to think and develop concepts and look into yourself, which inspires growth and courage and an aptitude for whatever life has in store. Because the program isn't just creating artists, it's creating thinkers and leaders and activists, and that's all thanks to the teachers and the community and the way the programs are structured, because it isn't just a rudimentary lesson on how to draw. It's the most profound lesson on what a pencil even is and how those concepts connect and apply to everyday life. And I remember the first time I really started thinking about these concepts and what my work was about, and I had a life-changing conversation with Matthew Very, the head of the department, which brought me to tears because Mr. Very saw in me something that I couldn't and made me realize what my biggest fears were and what I had to do and what I was capable of doing in order to conquer them. And the art program instilled in me, and I think all of its students, a fearlessness and the realization that we are capable of doing whatever we set out to do. And I remember selling my very first piece of art in grade 10, and that was a moment when I realized that I really could do anything I set out to do, because it wasn't just the fact that I had sold a piece, it was the thought that something I had made and put thought and hard work into had made some sort of impact on someone else. And it was the fact that we as high school students were making an impact on the world and as a community helping each other pursue our dreams. And let me just say that it was truly an honor to be a part of that community, and I encourage anyone and everyone to apply to and become a part of that community and have the same incredible experience that I had. Because although I'm not pursuing art professionally, I still draw and paint and write, and those are things I probably would have stopped doing a long time ago had I not gone to ESA, because the truth is that art isn't something you do given the time or money. It's something that requires courage. It requires that you look into the deepest parts of yourself and that you become vulnerable to what you find and grow with that knowledge and insight. And ESA helps you cultivate that, and I owe all of that to ESA and the art program for believing me and providing me with the tools and resources that I will carry with me throughout the rest of my life.
Hi, my name is Kieran Hinton. I'm a visual artist, and I was at ESA from 2006 to 2010 in the visual arts department. I want to speak a little bit today about my experience at ESA and how that experience has shaped and allowed me to be where I am today. While at ESA, there was a focus on developing the personal content of your work. So not just what you're making paintings of, but what you're making paintings about. And then how that work that we're putting into the world can have an impact on the community and the people that are around us. For me, the ability to witness the potential of art to really expand our emotional vocabularies and the ways that we feel was such a fundamental and foundational aspect of allowing me to pursue a career in this field. I had a memory of being in grade 10 and finishing a project, and the head of the visual arts department, Maggie, came up to me and said, this is something that you could do. This is really a possibility for what your life could be. And I never really believed something like that until that moment. And it really kind of encouraged me to pursue this afterwards and outside of just kind of being a pastime and as a hobby. So when I was in my final year at ESA, I was encouraged and helped to apply to a bunch of different schools, from Glasgow to Amsterdam to New York to Chicago to San Francisco. And as I began to visit these schools and just kind of see what was out there, it felt like the whole world was opening up. And this was something that was only really possible with the encouragement and with the help from ESA, the community of students, and especially the staff. And what I decided to do was go to Pratt Institute in New York, and I was able to go there because they offered me a scholarship based on the portfolio that I put together of the paintings that I made at ESA. And after Pratt, I was in my final year there, and I applied to grad school, not really knowing what to do. And I got into Yale School of Art, so I went to Yale, and I was the youngest student in my class at Yale, and did 2 years there, and then subsequently been living in New York, in between New York and Toronto, and have maintained a studio space in New York for the past 4 years. And I exhibit with a gallery in New York, and I have upcoming shows in Stuttgart, Germany in the summer of 2021, and then in New York in 2021 in the fall, and will be featured in a piece in the Art Gallery of Ontario in 2022. For me, ESA has been such a fundamental building block to be able to pursue a career like this, and even just to have the belief that it was possible at all. So I would encourage anybody who's thinking about applying just to submit an application, no matter where your portfolio is at. It's the vision and the belief of the students and the teachers who make this place possible that really allow lives to be changed. And I really hope that that experience is shared for anybody who decides to make that application.
Hello, my name is Olivia and I graduated from the ESA Contemporary Art Department in 2018, and I'm now in Halifax at Dalhousie University doing a double major in biochemistry and neuroscience. I think the time that I spent at ESA is one of the experiences that I'm most grateful to have in my life. I learned so much from my time there, and so many things that I really carry forward with me into my personal and professional life now. I think kind of the two main things that I would want people to know looking at this school about what they are going to receive and get from their time there. First of all, you are led into this community that offers this really unique type of support that I don't think many other places do. And it's, not only having a few mentors or a group of friends who care about you and want to see you succeed, but having an entire community of people who are really there to help you and be there for you, not just as you complete tasks put in front of you and do well at things that are asked of you, but as you figure out for yourself what those things that you want to do are, and you design them and then you do them, and they're there to support you through that and through you figuring that out and help you be the best at what you want to do. I think the chance to really put yourself into something for so many years is kind of rare. For someone of the age of 18 to leave high school saying, I spent 3 to 4 years working intensely on developing and creating and producing this body of work that I'm really proud of and that I think really speaks to who I am. And that's a process that requires you really working to understand yourself. There's so many things that I learned about myself through deciding what the body of work that I wanted to make was. And it also just really teaches you what it feels like to care so intensely for something and to put so much effort into something. And I'm now studying science. It's in some ways really different from creating a body of artwork, but there's so much that I can draw from that experience of knowing what it feels like to really want to succeed at something and knowing how I work best at putting my time into something, how I want to be thinking about the things that I care about, and how important it is to remain honest and vulnerable through that. And you get to explore that at ESA in a community of people who really want to be there for you and help you do that. And I think that's such a wonderful and unique thing that can help anybody. I know is something that I'm so thankful for every day.
ESA is really one of a kind, whereas at other art schools you are usually doing the same assignment as everyone around you. ESA is completely tailored to your needs, and you can choose what you want to be making, and it's your direction. So it's really individual, which at a time of your life like high school where you need to be learning about yourself and getting to know yourself, this is the time for you to do that. There's really no other way to do it than to be making what you want to make and learning about yourself through your own chosen directions. And yeah, at ESA, there's just all the support you could possibly ask for that. Everyone around you wants to help you. They're so caring, and together you can grow alongside your classmates, and really people at any level are collaborating and helping each other and discussing things. It's really just such a loving, warm community. It's really irreplaceable. And I'm just so glad, I feel privileged that I could have gone through that, and I feel like everyone deserves to have an experience like that in their life, especially at this time of your life.